Hey, and welcome to this week's Inbound Debate. As always, I'm joined on my left by Nick Pateman,
the loose goose.
Yeah, Top Gun reference right here.
we have got 2 tickets to the gun show right now. And on my right, of course, Dan Holt, who's looking exceptionally smart.
There's nothing loose about this.
And this week, we've seen US Congress approve a debt deal. We've seen killer fleas loose in a mental hospital, and we've seen teachers gone on strike, affecting thousands of children. But we're going to keep it to the important stuff. We're going to be talking about social endorsements. Now, Google have recently announced that they're going to start using social endorsements in advertising. So I think a great question to kick us off is, what role do we think, if any, social endorsements are going to play in the future of advertising online? Dan?
I think the answer is a big role. It's obviously been going on Facebook for some time now. As of the 11th of November, I believe it is, it's going to be kicking off on Google, and I think it's only a matter of time until Twitter embrace it as well. It just makes an awful lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, from the user's point of view. I think it's helpful information, and it definitely makes a lot of sense from the advertiser's point of view. In fact, the Facebook COO, Sheryl Sandberg, has been quoted as saying that it's so far led to a 300%, if you compare it to those ads that don't include endorsements from friends, it's led to a tripling in the conversion rate, which is absolutely staggering in terms of those clicks that ultimately lead through to a purchase. So really, really powerful stuff. In terms of the privacy concerns, I mean, as you know, I'm usually pretty quick to question the agenda of Google or indeed of Facebook. I think in this instance, though, the complaints are a little bit unfounded. I think ultimately, when you endorse something publicly online, I think you then to question the use of that public endorsement to further publicly endorse it is just really odd. I'm not sure where those complaints are coming from, and I think the terms of service are absolutely watertight now, so I don't see them slowing this trend.
What do you think, Nick?
I think there's a real. I've got to play devil's advocate here on the privacy stuff, because I think there's a real concern that they're just. Every kind of update is just nudging that little bit more data into the public domain. And this stuff is available to everyone, but there's a difference between accessible and available data. This stuff is now being kind of pushed in people's faces. You know, you're actually having your identity kind of thrown onto an advert. And you know, you might not have, when you hit +1 2 years ago, did you think that your face would then appear on that advert?
Well, it's only going to appear to my friends though, so I personally I wouldn't have, because as you know, I very frequently have concerns over privacy issues online, but if the data that's already freely available to my friends, it's already there. It's just putting all the pieces together.
I personally think, Dan, I think we're on dodgy territory here, because if you look at a lot of the way, and we take Facebook for example, a lot of the way brands build their Facebook following is through forcing users to like a page to unlock something. It might not be that they actually like the brand, they just want an iPad. And I think it's not so much a concern on Google+, but I think on Facebook, you're going to get a lot of false recommendations. Recommendations that people don't realise that they're giving.
I agree, but then I think that's going to force an important issue, which is going to make people think more carefully about making that like in the first place, because it is a public endorsement.
Yeah, but they should have done that now rather than making them think about it retrospectively. So all that stuff that you liked in +1, like over the last 2 years or so.
People's responsibility.
I mean,
it's their action what makes them do it.
No, but you've now done something in the past that now is being manipulated for the benefit of Google now, and you don't have the choice now. You can opt out, but a lot of people don't know about that.
I think it's worth saying that Google have made it very, very clear that they've changed their terms of service. So whereas Facebook didn't, and that's why Facebook faced that $20 million settlement back in August. Google have clearly learned from that lesson. It's all been disclosed very publicly. I'm not sure I see what the issue is.
There's a genuine concern. I think that the thing is the nudging ahead. Like, you've seen this as like a small update, but the thing is, a billion of those small updates are going to make something absolutely massive, where everyone's kind of used to just having their data thrown around freely. Now, I don't think it's an issue, because I don't think enough people use Google Plus. Really, I don't think it's actually. I'm surprised Google have made this move when people aren't really adopting to like naturally kind of using the system anyway, into a great extent like Facebook.
But I mean, from my point of view, from an advertising point of view, this is fantastic, because I can you know, like from a purely corporate point of view, I love this, right? Because I can get a higher click-through rate, I can get a higher engagement rate, and I can also get recommendations, which for most products is what sells them. Like if my friend's recommending me a product and I'm not sure about 2 products, I'm going to pick the one that my friend's recommending. So I mean, I'm really happy about it from a marketing sense. I think that people definitely should have privacy concerns about it.
Okay, I mean, I think it's also worth adding that when I looked at this online, an awful lot of the comments on for example, on newspapers such as Daily Mail, Telegraph, etc., that had articles about this, most of the comments were saying, I don't understand what the complaints are about because it's people's choice to do this, and actually it's generally pretty useful to the user, but we'll see.
Okay, well, guys, if you could put your face on any endorsement for a product socially, what would you do, and what product would it be, Dan?
Well, as I think you probably know, I'm the proud owner of the entire collection of the Marks & Spencer sartorial range of shirts. I now can't buy any more clothes until they extend that range. It's a bit of a problem. I would like to be the public online face of sartorial, and maybe Ginsters.
Ginsters as well.
It's an obvious combination.
Yeah, that's strange. Well, I think there's a real opportunity here for people to start trolling. We've seen Google Plus authorship, and
you never miss an opportunity to
absolutely.
troll.
I mean, they've publicly announced this opportunity to troll, so everyone listen. This is basically Google Plus authorship. You can have any picture that you want to have, right? So when you're reviewing a product, you can put up whatever picture you want to go alongside. There's a big protest here where a lot of people were using Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google's face, so that when they got reviews, it'd be Eric Schmidt reviewing every product. Well, I was thinking, if you could get away with having 1-star endorsements, you might kind of wrap yourself up in a cast and maybe like a bit of a kind of wrap around the face, that kind of saying that you basically just had a massive injury. Kind of complaining at a restaurant waiting to push you down the stairs. You get away with a 1-star troll there. You could maybe even kind of have some makeup to put some horrible disfiguring infection on your face, give it 1 star, and then say, this place sucks. And you could troll everyone. But I think it actually only allows you to do 5-star ratings, so maybe you just have to say, got this infection, but the food was really good.
Personally, and guys, I'm kind of pitching this to you, I want my face on the Inbound logo. That's what I want. Instead of that logo, I want it just around my face. Is that okay?
That's
fine,
okay,
man.
so that'll be
Update your
next week.
profile, buddy. It'll be there.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for joining this week. As always, this has been the Inbound Debate, and we'll see you next week.